So it looks like Siona polished off the last guy by launching a javelin at the guy, killing him. There was a dagger to the neck, and Quinn was laying on the ground dead. And Siona restored him to 1 hit point with laying on of hands. Then we collected all of our crap from the battlefield. We strapped Zareen to the squirrely horse behind Willet, and I think we were about to start making our way back towards the manor, if I recall correctly. So looks like Quinn's in a world of hurt right now, just barely hanging on. And I think there was some other damage, some other hurting people there. But I think that's about where we left it.
Let's see, to make sure. So, yeah, I think that's mostly where we were. We were kind of, I think we're gathering ammo and stuff. So the sword that Zorine had is a +1 rapier. She had her crossbows being sort of better quality because of sort of her station, are exquisite quality but aren't any exceptional battle. But they're worth 100 gold for the set. The bandits each had 5 gold on them, and then her purse contained 100 gold, which would have been the payoff for you guys to take.
How many bandits were there? Like 9 or something? 8 or 9?
6, 7,
8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 8.
Do I hear 12?
No, eight bandits. Yeah. So it's 40 gold there and 100 gold. 2 crossbows that are the same as what you got, but can be sold for 100 gold. So if you just want to, some of this, I don't know exactly how we want to do those when you find something that's worth something. If you just want to
Liquidate.
imagine we have a permanent fence on us at all times, or you can just sell the things you don't want, or if you need to go find someone back at town to do that, I don't know.
Well, I've put everything here on my my divvying chart. You said there was a +1 rapier there, right? Sounds like something.
Yes.
Sounds like something that we probably give to Raz. Be my guess.
Maybe. I mean, it's a longsword, which I think almost everyone is proficient with, except maybe wizards.
And me.
Longsword's a finesse weapon, though. I mean, a rapier.
Right.
So do we have an accountant?
I think I'm playing that role for the time being.
Okay.
Given the confusion that we had the last session, I made sure to start a little chart of everything that we had yet to divvy up between everybody.
Is there a place in Roll20 to keep that, or are you just keeping it on?
I've got it on the Google Drive, so everybody should actually be able to have access to it.
Oh, that's probably a good place to go look every now and then.
I mean, there's also on the bio tab of your character sheet, there's a treasure box you could also use, but we couldn't see.
Yeah, that's too many places. I figure I'll just leave it here. Everybody can get to it.
Well, actually, that's probably a good idea. Though, that anything that we divvy to someone, we should put in our treasure tab, and then anything that's like community and undivvied, we'll just leave there and decide if we liquidate it later.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I've been updating my character sheet, at least my my physical one, with the stuff that's actually on my person.
Yeah, I've put it in the items. Or
There's
equipment.
There's the equipment section on the main page. That's where I put all my stuff at.
Okay.
I'm not sure what would go in the treasure section.
Probably gems or something like that.
I remember picking up a silver dragon statue or something from one of our earlier bits, and I think that's where I put it. Actually, it would, yeah, looks like where I put it.
Did we ever divvy up the rest of the healing potions? I think that would be like the most important thing to divvy.
Right now,
Put it in weapons and stuff people wanted.
we had 4 total. We had 1 greater healing and 3 potions of healing, and I gave one of them to Corin during the last fight because he was down, or he was about to be down. So I've got 3 remaining at the moment.
Okay.
How do you think we should tactically distribute them then?
I think definitely for the, well, my first thought is for the melee folks, especially the frontliners.
Right. I mean, I have my healing word, so I don't need to necessarily carry them.
Yeah, and I think I'm probably going to pick up like a level 1 cure wounds, probably next level for
Okay.
just to.
Say that again? I'm sorry. I heard that Eldon, was going to, he's got his healing word, but didn't know if he needed to hold on to him, and that's...
No, I don't think I should be carrying them unless, I'm not going to be able to use either healing word or potion while I'm unconscious. So I won't need to carry them, as I can heal by command of my patron deity.
My thought is that definitely Corin and Siona should carry one, and probably you, Quinn, should also carry one because you're a little bit on the squishier side.
Right. My thought is that Quinn should have one, Corin should have one, Siona would probably get the greater healing one, because she tends to be the target, and Raz would get one. That was my thought.
I'll give it to you. I might pick up cure wounds next level. You take it.
Okay, so I'll have 2 of them. Corin has one, and give Siona the greater healing.
I would give us the greater and a regular to Siona, since she's going to take more damage than you.
I don't see greater in the items list for me to use. Sorry, in the D&D roll 22.
Yeah, they don't have everything in there.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
So what? So I'm getting 2.
You're going to get the potion of greater healing and a regular potion of healing, and
Okay.
Quinn will get the other one, and Corin will have one, and Quinn will have one. All in favor?
Go for it.
Aye. Motion
Sounds
carries.
fair.
Nay.
Too late. You're out. Striking those off the list.
I'll certainly grab the rapier unless you want it, Eldon.
No, thank you.
Cool.
Makes sense for you to have it, in my opinion.
All right, so heading back to Lord Blackmore's manor, correct?
That's ominously sounding there. Ominous slip up.
Yeah, I was trying to get it out of my mouth. It wouldn't go.
Yes, I see no reason to hang around here.
So, the squirrel horse lasts for how long?
until I take the saddle off. But the question is the squirrel's only friendly for like 24 hours, so don't really know what happens when that timer clicks off.
Oh, so it doesn't turn it automatically into a friendly horse? It just turns it into a horse?
Yeah, it just turns it into a horse.
That'll be some fun later, I'm sure.
So what I'm hearing is we might want to tether a rope to the horse or something.
Stallion of Doom.
I've got that length of rope we picked up. We can make like a harness out of it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make that make that canon here and say that I'll take my length of rope and make, kind of tie it to the horse somehow, secure it a little bit loosely, but at least so it can't run off. But granted, if it takes off and I'm the only one holding it, I'm going to go with it.
So we're throwing Zerain up on that?
Is she unconscious, or does she have that ring of made of stone on now?
No,
Okay.
she's unconscious.
Yeah,
I didn't fatally knock her out though. She's just like
unconscious.
She's just out. She's not dying.
Yeah.
So the trip back being slightly. Well, hold on. The trip back takes about the same amount of time. You're slightly more familiar with the trail and are not as passive, I would say, with your travels. So it doesn't take quite as long. You're able to make it back. You have to camp at least once during that trip. Well, no, I'd say because this is early, so you guys are able to make it back, and so you arrive in the town of Nettleton, or the village of Nettleton, sort of as nightfall is approaching, with Willett and Zorine kind of over the back of the horse, and as you guys approach, the people that were kind of running and hiding themselves still sort of have that same kind of behavior, but then as they see Willett on horseback riding into town, people begin to come out, and you hear sort of this murmur that kind of, a few people are kind of yelling for joy, or oh, thank you, oh, it's a miracle, kind of stuff, and so this kind of a din that sort of travels your arrival back into town as you head back to Blackmore Manor.
Before we get too close to the manor, I want to take a sack or something and cover up what's her name's head so we don't get stopped.
That's fine. You could have done that from the beginning if you wanted to. I mean, we can retcon it if you want.
That's fine. Yeah, just before the guards see us.
So as you arrive back, the guards see Willett and sort of clear the way, and you're basically kind of escorted to the front door of the manor. And Lord Blackmore, his fat self comes kind of waddling out. Once
You just cut out. Did you stop talking?
sorry, trying to manage two things. Sorry. Sorry, I had spectators that were trying to ask me questions. So Lord Blackmore's fat self comes waddling out of the front door. sort of tears kind of forming in his eyes, and immediately kind of runs towards Willett and takes him off the horse, and just kind of smothers him. And he's, "Oh, Willett, I'm so happy you've returned." And he's, "Father, oh, I made it." And so it's a big sort of happy reunion. You saved my son. You'll never know how thankful I am that you've done this for us. Please, come in.
Is what's her name still unconscious?
Probably not, but she's sort of gagged and bound and covered in head, so
Okay,
you
I'll
guys
just
would have to kind of take her off and drag her in, I guess.
all right. I'll just keep a hold of her with a dagger in her back, just to so she doesn't get any ideas.
So he sort of escorts you into the main hall, and
Is he surprised at all to see her bound up?
Well, I put it back over her head.
Oh, he doesn't know who she is. Okay, sorry.
Unless he recognizes what she's wearing.
he's sort of also kind of preoccupied with
Willett.
the reunion of his son, so he's not fully paying attention. But you guys get back into sort of this main hall, and he kind of gets back to the head of the table or whatever, and is still embracing his son, so happy. And he kind of notices that you all are dragging someone with you. He kind of turns to address that. What is this? Who do you who? I'm so confused.
Well, this here is the person who tried to stop us from returning your son. And I, pulled the stuff off her head.
What? My sister, Zorine. What is the meaning of this? And so she's kind of.
Yeah, she met us coming out of the tunnels with, 10 guards to try to stop us from bringing him home. So we brought her with us.
I'll, take the gag out of her mouth.
Brother, quickly, call the guards. These people cannot be trusted. Zorine, I'm so confused. What is happening? I went to deliver the bounty as I was told, and they attacked us. They refused to give up Willett, and then returned here. These interlopers, they're after something more. Do not trust them.
Yes, because
you told her to deliver the bounty before we even had your son? Okay.
How would she have even known where to go?
Lord Albrecht, correct me if I'm mistaken, but you initially sent your sister out to scout ahead, I believe, but she initially turned up unsuccessful, so you then called for her aid, is that right?
Yes, I mean, the area was searched by the guards, and of course my sister. I mean, we did send a tracker ahead who never returned. Zorine, I don't recall the money. It just makes no sense. How would... He's obviously very flustered, trying to sort of put the pieces of it all together. What did you have something to do with Willett's disappearance? She her demeanor kind of changes, and she kind of, from sort of this wide-eyed sort of playing dumb character to sort of, you can kind of see that her expression sort of hardens, and she takes sort of a different tone in her talking. It was worth a try, wasn't it, brother? Zorine, I'm so confused. Yes, I can imagine you would be. You are not the smartest of us, and how Father left this to you, I'll never know. It's been so long in the making that I can't believe it's actually happened. This all should have been mine, and yet the fire only took your wife and other children. It was meant for you all, but alas, it matters. I had to take other extreme measures. You see, you and your ways, your eating and spending and drinking, have nearly spent all of Father's fortune. Everything we built, everything he built, has almost been wasted away by your fat, frivolous spending. What was I to do? Have you ruined us all?
So you thought sacrificing your nephew was a good idea?
Sacrificing my nephew, the child. This is not even a small step in the necks and the bodies I left to procure my position. You have no idea what is going on here, and you dare to speak of me of nephews. This is all one step, as my lord commanded, and not my dear brother, Lord. The Lord, the
I'm going to walk over
Lord.
to her, and I'm going to slip the ring of petrification on her. Onto her finger. So
Okay.
So
she turns into a statue.
Yep.
Well,
so what do we want to do here?
Sounds to me like she has friends in the nearby area, if not in this town.
She seems to have many loyal to her when she brought armed guards with her to attack us when we were leaving. But
I don't know if they were loyal. They seemed to be worried about losing their farm. They seemed more to be threatened into supporting her.
So DM, if we were to go back in time and take a look at their clothes and the armor of the bandits, and looking around in Lord Blackmore's chamber, his manor, do we see any similarities between the guards of the manor of this city and the guards that Zorine took with her?
They don't appear to be, at least, they're not wearing any official vestments of sort of the town guard. It would be hard to tell if any of them were members of the town guard, but it's most likely that they were mercenaries or some outside outfit that had.
But we have a problem here because we're all kind of banged up, and we covered her head in town. But if any of her allies know she's here, we're not in a position to fight before we can get out of this place. What with the crossbow holes in all of us and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree.
No. Your safety is assured here. You've returned my son. I can't possibly fathom my own sister, my wife. This makes no sense. My sister loved me. She loved Willett. She mourned the loss. Was it all a ruse? Was it
Are you sure she didn't just mourn not killing you too? She seems to love power.
But she's the guards. He's obviously having a lot of difficulty sort of grasping this. I mean, this betrayal has really come out of nowhere, how he perceives it. And it's caught him by complete surprise from what you can tell.
I know that this is distracting, and obviously, your sister tried to kill you and all, and I feel for you. But is there? Did you happen to know? Did she have any weird friends? Did she go to odd places and hang out? Is there anything that you can see now, or that you might think is out of the ordinary? That might explain some of this?
No. I mean, my sister and I have always, had our disagreements, but what siblings don't? I mean, she's the captain of the guard. I don't, dally. I don't interfere with her business. She protects the land and serves me. I thought loyally. This makes no sense. But what she said though of her lord, I must ask her something, if it's possible.
Before we do that, are there any guards in this room?
There would probably be one or two kind of by the door.
I just want do they look concerned about what's going on, or do they look,
Well, they'd be by so you guys are inside a large estate, and the guards would probably be, there might be one or two sort of by the front door posted, but I would think at this point it's sort of just you and the Lord and Willet.
Outside,
Okay.
but not inside with us.
Yes.
Should we lock the doors?
That might seem suspicious.
Quietly.
Maybe someone should go wait outside and keep an eye on the door.
I'll go stand watch and just wave at people. Nothing to see here. just getting some fresh air.
If I would have had time to pop Hoot Hoot back into existence, we could have flown him up to observe, and I could have just warged out in the corner. But
Well, I say we send the bard out. The bard can regale anyone nearby of our daring rescue while keeping an eye out.
And I'll give a smile and a nod to the guards near the door, mostly just to get a really good look at their faces, just in case. And then saunter outside.
All right.
Okay, let's slip it off her finger. She comes back to life.
She sort of, takes a half a second and realizes that, people have moved and that something's happened. What? Oh, I see. Sister, the darkness you speak of. Brother, you know nothing. He goes, she sort of, not lunges forward, but sort of, kind of falls forward and sort of smashes to the ground in front of you, and on basically landing on her face. And she kind of gets herself back up to her knees, and you see her kind of, with something in her mouth. It sort of spits it out, and it's a a tooth. And sort of, she looks at her brother and says, "Brother, hail Baal, Bane."
I put the ring back on her finger.
You can, but you kind of have a hard time because she's kind of convulsing and she's sort of kneeling in front of you. But you sort of slip it on her finger, sort of in that process. Petrification is in like stone or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, or if it was just like a like a frozen state.
No, it says putting this ring on a person will turn a person to stone except for the ring. Someone else can remove the ring and thereby return the person to flesh.
So you fight, you finally get it on her ring, and she's kind of got this grimaced look on her face, and you sort of look over at her brother, who's basically sort of kind of gone white upon sort of hearing what she had to say.
Well, hopefully that worked before she died, so maybe someday someone can cure that poison. But for the time being, you have a problem.
Hold on one sec. I'm trying to find something real quick.
Well, I mean, I think, while he's doing that, it seems like it'd be a shame to just leave that ring here.
Oh, I'm not leaving it. We can heal her in the morning if you want.
Yeah.
But
Can we cure poison?
I say we just let her die.
Well, that seems a little too easy.
Well, if they wouldn't have put me down in the last battle, I was gunning for her. So I'm kind of still a little pissy towards her.
Well, I'm thinking more along the lines of apparently her lord wants her to die, and her not dying might put her at odds with that. People wanting to kill themselves tend to not like it when you stop them killing themselves for their cause.
Did she what? Here? No, they couldn't have infiltrated that makes my own family. Oh.
what do you know of this?
He gets up and sort of wanders over to a bookshelf near him and kind of thumbs through something and pulls out sort of I guess it's sort of a rolled up banner of sorts, and walks back to the table. Hold on one second, I'm going to show you. Trying to figure out how to do stuff. Do.
Uh-oh.
Would I have recognized that name? Baal? Or Baal? Or
Is that Bane?
or would Eldon have recognized it?
You can roll a religion check on that.
Religion?
Turns out I have proficiency in that. Let's give
I
that a
have
shot.
proficiency in religion.
It'd be Siona and or Eldon.
Back to ones, guys. It's another night of ones.
Consistency, I love it.
You can't even spell this person.
right, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to upload something real quick.
You're more proficient in religion than I am, Quinn.
I did a lot of studying back at the tower.
We're just trying to do a thing where we all don't roll on every single thing.
You should teach me some stuff.
Apparently, you only know your religion.
Well, my mentor did sacrifice himself for me before I learned everything, so.
I mean, I kind of remember him breathing kind of heavy as he shoved you onto the boat.
Like, I have the picture. I can't get it. Let me see if I can send you this.
You can probably put it in Discord. No, I don't think you can upload if you had a link to it.
I'll figure out how to get it uploaded here. I'm going to put it in the chat. So he comes to the table and kind of unrolls sort of what you sort of gather to be sort of a I don't know what you would call it, sort of a large tabard, or something that you'd hang in a hall or something of that, sort of a flag. And from both of the religiously trained people recognize the name of Bane as one of the dark gods, specifically the god of treachery, and you recognize his symbol that is on this tabard as from your Ecleros escape. Can you guys see that? Or did it show up in?
It's in Discord.
The hand.
Oh wait, that's not right. Son of a.
The clawed hand, kind of in a fist.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to show.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what. Oh, it grabbed the page image, not the.
Yeah, I got it now. Hold on.
I see it.
I figured out how not to be stupid. All right, hold on. Now I'm adding it. I'll add it as an asset and share it with everybody. I think it'll show up in your art. I don't know where it'll show up.
Doing a handout?
There it is.
Somehow I can put things as handouts. I don't really know how to do that. Things I haven't figured out yet. So you recognize that symbol, not necessarily in as artistic and as well defined, but more of a cruder image of it you recognize from some of the troops that invaded Ecleros. You inspect, one of you sort of picks up the tooth that she spit out and looks at it and see that it's sort of hollow and has sort of a greenish, a drop or so of greenish fluid sort of still in it.
I'm going to keep that for later.
The tooth?
Yep.
All right. It's probably enough to hide sort of a small capsule or something, but you can pretty much discern that whatever it was killing her came from whatever she swallowed. This, I believe, must be what she spoke of. The Dark Lord Bane, his acolytes, his church. They rule as far as I can see this land. We are somewhat secluded from the main land, but even us, we are under their purview, somewhat as a we do not bother them, they don't bother us, but from time to time over the centuries and decades, they have invaded, asserted their dominion here, but this should be flown. But my family, and then the families that ruled this land before us, have long been neutral in their affairs. My own sister. It makes no sense. Does anyone want to confess to have seen this before?
The image?
Yes. I mean, he's sort of talking, telling you what this symbol is.
We've seen this before.
There you go.
With authority.
With authority. We've seen this before.
Can you tell us something new?
This symbol that you said you weren't from this land, that you arrived only recently. How? Where have you seen this?
Some people attacked our homeland a while back, and they apparently were carrying this symbol on them.
They're why we ended up here, oddly.
Wait. Who are you people? That the Church of Bane is not known to travel in established territories. For them to make their way, where who did you say you were?
Just a bunch of nobodies who killed some boars and then wandered out this way. I mean, as far as I remember, I'd never seen these things before they attacked us. /W, not W/.
I know.
Sounds like a good plan.
Hey, Adam, do you want to mention it?
Hey, what about those red flames, man?
Hey, has anybody heard about the Red Flames? You remember those guys?
But so long.
Secrets. Well, yeah, Lord Blackmore. There's we were. I spent some time studying with the Red Flames back at the Tower of Light over in Ecleros, and one night.
Wait. No. Did you? The red. It can't be. And he kind of runs back to the bookshelf and kind of starts pulling out some stuff and kind of throwing them to the ground, and finds this really old sort of manuscript, I guess, and kind of comes over and unveils it, and she's sort of in the corner in a very small almost a I guess sort of what the hell's it called? In the ink, the wax seal, the indention or whatever that's on there. You recognize as sort of the symbol of the flames that you that this does this mean anything to you all?
Does it mean anything to us?
If I could only see what it is, maybe I could think that it might mean something to me.
I feel like it does.
I have a feeling in my gut that says it will be important.
Well, it's okay. So it's the symbol. It's the symbol. Sorry, I thought I was good. It's your red flame symbol, but it's like a wax press, whatever the wax seal is.
Oh, so the red flame symbol is the seal.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, the seal, the wax seal thing. The symbol of the red flames. The red flames had a symbol. That's the one. It's on that seal there. We had that. Looks nice. Very nice.
Sort of a mix of sort of, I wouldn't call it panic, but weird sort of look kind of looks over his face, and he kind of hurries to the door of the hall, kind of looks out and sees Raz sort of out in the hall, kind of motions for him and then closes the door and sort of locks it behind you. So it's really just you, and you must never ever admit to knowing that. I know you are new here and you couldn't possibly understand, but this land is ruled almost to the point of tyranny by the church, the Black Church, the Church of Bane. I don't even quite know all the details myself. There is a rumor, a tale, if you will, of a group that dared defy the church and stole the most holy of holy artifacts from them. It's not clear what it was, but the era that passed in the wake of them, it was bloodshed, and they escaped nearby. There's a town, Albrecht. They were last seen there before departing. One of them escaped via boat, a group that makes sense, but they were never seen again. It can't. Your island must have been the resistance. Please, you must leave. And I don't mean that in any way inhospitable. This place is as much mine as it is yours now. Rest yourselves. Gather in the morning. We will have supplies. But you must leave immediately. And please, for my safety, for your own safety, do not return. I will send supplies to your people through the forest. I will do our best to look after them. But you must leave. If they were to catch you or learn of your existence, I don't know what it would mean for us all. There's one thing. He kind of rushes back and pulls out another large sort of tome that sort of, looks like it hasn't been touched and is very old. Kind of flips it open and kind of stomach. It's in here. I remember as a boy, my grandfather, and he's kind of flipping through pages, trying to find something. Hold on one second. You must know, the Blackmoors, a generation or so has ruled this. Before us, there have been other families, of course. We are not the only ones. the Greyborns, they were before us, back as far as I can remember. But here, I found it. Lady Fira Ironsong. The Ironsongs were always rumored to be one of the last families affiliated with this red group, the resistance, if you will, and were said to have taken any secret of that to their grave. Their family, the last of which, Lady Ironsong, this is going to sound dreadfully ironic, is buried underneath the same keep you just went to. Did you happen to come across her tomb while you were saving Willett?
You noticed some seemingly unmarked coffins, like some sarcophagi, and it seemed like this place did look like it had a mausoleum in it, but I'm afraid we did not pay too much attention.
I cannot tell you for sure if anything is there. It's entirely possible that it had been long ago raided, but you would be more aware than anyone, possibly to, if anything is there, anything involving this resistance, you would be able to get it. You would recognize, I believe. You must return to Blackmore Keep, Firestone Keep. You must find the tomb. In there, if there's anything that can help you, it will be there. And then, please, you must not return here. Albrecht it must be your next destination. If there's anyone there that might still be able to help you, I can't believe the resistance. Oh, I never assumed it was real. If there's anyone in Albrecht that can help you, what you may find in the tomb will surely establish your word I can't remember, your precedence or whatever. It'll establish your what's the thing that's called when you have evidence, chain of, no, I can't remember what's called.
Custody? Chain of...
It's chain of custody, but that's what I'm trying to. No, it'll establish you as what you speak of is true. And it's not Albrecht, it's Aldenberg. I just remembered. Haha.
It's your name.
No, it's Aldenberg, not Albrecht. No, his name is Blackmore, Lord Blackmore. Albrecht at Blackmore, yes, sorry. And this is Aldenberg, which he's trying to send you to. I can't read and speak at the same time.
Well, we can forgive the Lord. I mean, his sister did just try to, kill his son and everything, so he's, probably a little flabbergasted.
A little shook up.
Please, if you please rest, eat, anything you need. We will do our best to make sure it's yours. And then, come morning, you must depart. Return to Blackmore Keep, find what you seek, and then you must never return.
All right, if we leave in the morning, that means your sister dies, if she's not already dead.
I fear
Do you
the
have a
sister
healer?
I fear the sister I know may have died long before this moment.
So I can take my ring off her?
We can attempt a healing, but the Black Church is known for their deadly ways. I can't imagine anything we would have available to us here would be able to counteract something of their design. And honestly, I don't know what we could do. I mean, her crimes would only end in death anyways. Sure, maybe we could get some answers, but if she was willing to take her own life, I can't imagine she will tell us much. Perhaps the sentence is, this is, this is fate. It's passing sentence for us.
I take the ring off of her.
And I'm going to cast a firebolt at her.
Okay.
Really?
I told you I was pissed.
You gonna let Siona back away first?
Well,
Please?
I can sculpt the spell around her. That's fine. She'll be fine.
Pretty sure you hit unconscious people automatically.
Is that coup de grace?
Well, if I do it with abandon.
Now he finally rolls well.
Yep. That'll do it.
All right, hold on. Yeah, check one thing.
Wow.
But yes, I would sculpt the spell around you, around her, so the fires would not hurt you at all.
I'm trying to decide something here. Hold on. All right. Well, she bursts into flames in front of her 10-year-old
I'm not okay with that.
nephew, and then as opposed to gurgling her last breaths, the hall is filled with her screams and the smell of burning flesh. And she dies painfully and horribly.
All right, you and Raz are not allowed to hang out anymore. You're bad influences on each other.
Look, if I'm going to brutally murder someone, I would prefer not to do it in front of their family. But prefer, not
Murder hobos, man.
happen.
I mean, I was gonna do a more careful search of her body, but it's on fire and smells like burnt hair now. So, Mr. Lord, do you have any place I can go get some sleep?
Yeah, he sort of kind of waves you towards the door, and
I want to say, sorry.
The upstairs, but you can sort of tell that he's now visibly shaken and very confused, and that the goodwill he once had is sort of drastically reduced.
My temper got the best of me. But I've
Sorry about the carpet. Well, should we perhaps take a rest and digest all this new information?
I'm gonna have to learn to start putting whispers in front of these.
Yep.
All right, so
I'm worried about two of these people.
Before we go to sleep, I got some climbing equipment in my bag, and I want to wedge my door shut just to make sure no one can come bashing in without waking me up.
And I would like to see if we can get a collection of maps from Lord Blackmore, so that we can understand the land we're in.
Yeah, he can get that to you. I do not have that already, but trust me, there's a map.
Right, and then also if we can get things so that we can adjust or make our clothing look more like we're local to this land, to make sure we don't stand out when we're traveling, since we must leave this place.
It's a good idea.
And then also, Eldon's very interested in the bookshelves and will probably want to read and study from them. And so if there's any particular information about the area and land that would be helpful and Lord Blackmore could point me to them, I would like to.
Yep, you can do that. Should you need to at some point recall something of common lore, I will grant you an advantage of that, but you won't be able to. There's a lot to read, and it's sort of late, and you do have to leave in the morning. So, given everybody wants to get hit points too, you don't have as much time to research as you would like, I'm sure.
Right. I understand. That's why I want him to point me to anything of particular use and value.
You kind of scroll through sort of the pieces that were around the history of this house and sort of the Iron Song and Greyborn families, and maybe kind of peruse the map. Beyond that, you don't have time for too much else. Maybe a little on the Church of Bane, but that's probably all you could get.
Okay. Oh, also, does he have any spare mounts he can give or let us take? Pack animals or mounts or anything like that, so that to help us with our travel. I'm a little weakling, and I would really like something to help me carry things.
Yeah, I'm sure something like that can be arranged.
Why am I hearing crickets?
Because it's nighttime.
Oh.
I kind of thought it was the answer.
Yeah,
I
me too.
did too. I was like, after what we did, or what Quinn did.
Yeah, he kind of pointed you. You basically sort of asked him if he could, if you could peruse his books, and he sort of, really quickly, kind of, yeah, sure, whatever, and kind of, but he takes Willett, and kind of, who's basically in the midst of, one of those things he's going to be telling the doctor about for years, and kind of gets him back out into his upstairs. Night passes, and you wake up in the morning. The staff is very polite, but obviously is not. It's sort of like what you would imagine. They've been told to be polite to you, but everything they do is basically kind of couched with a very real, terrified anguish. Sort of as you kind of go into the main hall in the morning with your food. Basically, the hall still smells of burning flesh, and obviously most of the staff is very uncomfortable. The one or two people that are there to kind of serve you, they kind of put a breakfast in front of you that's very filling, and it sort of escorts you when you're done to the front door. Noticeably missing from the departure is Lord Blackmore, who doesn't see you off. When you get to the front of his manor, he has some older horses waiting on you, kind of packed with some stuff, your supplies, and then the guard kind of rides you out of town, and off you go. It doesn't take you nearly as long, with all of you having horses, to return to the keep. You do have to kind of tie them off near, well, I guess between the time up and the time down, you guys have sort of cleared a very crude path through the vines and stuff. So you're able to kind of get up to the main clearing again. The bodies of the bandits have been picked clean in the time that you were gone, and as you kind of ride back into the square, or whatever you want to call it, the courtyard, there's a bunch of naked bodies kind of being picked apart by some birds, and obviously something had kind of chewed on them overnight, but their clothing and anything else they had been removed by something which you assume is probably the kobolds. There are a lot of kobold tracks in the courtyard, and sort of heading off to the far end, and you get the feeling that, realizing that their safe haven has sort of been violated, that they probably vacated the tomb.
It's a good thing we've got some horses we're going to tie out in this really safe area.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what you were going to do with those when we got back to this place.
Mm.
All right, before we proceed, though, I think we should have a little party chat, and maybe no more murder unless we all agree to it.
Oh, no, I'm good with that.
If you insist, although if they are criminals,
No?
I might give them. Oh, fine. But can I punch them?
Let's go with no. Not so much because I really care about them, but we've already set one person at odds against us. It's kind of bad for our own self-interest if we're just murdering and beating everyone up.
Well, can I at least spit in their face?
Yeah, sure. Spit
Sure.
away.
Go ahead.
It's the little things.
I promise I will not set anybody on fire that doesn't deserve it.
No killing anybody if we've captured them.
Okay.
I mean, we were going to let her die anyway, so.
Anyways, that's all I kind of had to say about that.
I'm going to take my saddle off the squirrely horse and let it go on its way, since we're about at the 24-hour point.
Oh, I sort of assumed that happened. And this is a real horse. But
I assumed I had a real horse and I was leading the other one back. I don't know why, but whatever.
if that's how you want to do too, whichever.
Let the squirrel go near where it was caught. Actually, I don't.
I mean, that would be close. I mean, small recompense.
So we're going back down into the place?
So can we look? Basically, we have to tie up the horses. Is there a safer looking area we can tie our horses up in?
Like an area hidden by rocks or trees or.
I mean, it's broken walls, and there's probably some smaller trees. You could probably tie them. I mean, they wouldn't be visible from below, but yeah, if anyone comes into the courtyard, it's not so big that they wouldn't notice 6 horses tied up to it.
Are these horses important enough to us to... Because I'm going to assume overnight that I have performed the ritual again to bring Hoot Hoot back into existence. Would it be beneficial for me to leave him out here to kind of perform Overwatch?
We don't. If we don't
less
need
likely to die.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
I was saying he's much less likely to get swatted out of the air flying around out here.
Well, that is true. I just didn't know if the horses were important enough, or we kind of used him as recon through the tunnels down there. So just.
Was there anywhere before we got to the courtyard where we could have left them? Like, and walked in towards this keep? Or did we need to ride them all the way there?
Well, at the bottom of the hill, sort of that the keep is on, is that was sort of that briar patch that you guys kind of cleared a path through. So you could have left them down there, but they would not have been any more secure than they are now. At least up here, like someone would have to come up to the courtyard to
that's fine.
to interact with them. All right, so let me see something. So there was the secret, quote unquote, secret entrance that you went in the last time, and then there's sort of the more main formal entrance that you have not going to look at, but not done anything with. Which part are you guys wanting to take a look at? And anybody fill up health bars and reset self spell counters and all that.
Okay.
I don't know why you're all on this one, but
I guess if we're gonna we'll tie up the horses, but any gear that I would think valuable, I would want to hide underneath something in a corner or something like that, so that it's not attached to the horse if someone comes and gets the horse.
I mean, if you want to leave Hoot Hoot out there as basically just sitting on top of the building, kind of keeping watch. I mean, if anything comes up, he would be able to alert you. and you could come running back out. Somebody mentioned that.
Sounds like a good plan to me, provided that we're within 100 feet. 100 feet of him. I should be able to communicate with him. Do you think that'll be an issue?
You may lose Wi-Fi connection at some point.
I might lose Wi-Fi connection.
Just bring him with us.
All right.
We're not going to probably won't come charging out if horses get attacked.
I throw a torch on the ground and say, "Oh, look, we've got a hotspot."
Oh man, I'm not leading.
So as we're coming in, I will say that I didn't pay much mind at the time, but I noticed, south and west of us, there was this little room of seemingly unmarked sarcophagus. Maybe it's worth checking out.
I'm still hooked on the horses. Will the horses fit inside the dungeon?
I don't want a horse in there with me in case it gets panicky.
I don't want it to follow us, but maybe we could put them in the first room.
Getting them into the tunnel.
I'm pretty sure the horse is not going to go to the pitch
that's
black
going to
room.
waste. Because they have to go downstairs.
Okie dokie.
In the dark. It's a good idea. But...
Does the other entrance that we didn't go into, does it have stairs? And is it dark?
Do we want to go check it out?
I would like to go look at the other entrance to see if it has stairs and if it's dark.
No, you looked. You went down and looked into it at one point.
We did?
Yeah, somebody went down and checked it out.
We got to that about right to there, I think.
No.
No. So somebody went down the main entrance.
Am I looking at a map?
Here.
Or
yeah, that you should see a map, the tunnel map back up.
Oh.
I think I scouted very shortly down the main entrance, and I saw something I didn't like. I think there might have been some
I can reread it real quick. A narrow stone stairway leads down from the ruins above. As you descend, natural light is replaced by impenetrable darkness. The smell of old dust and mold battles the pungent smell of decaying flesh. At the bottom of the stairs, the passage curves back and forth snake-like, having been roughly hewn from gray and tan stone. Everything is quiet except for the distant sound of running water. Deep shelves have been carved into the passage walls at chest height. These alcoves are filled with old bones and decaying clothes. You notice ahead that one of the shelf openings is covered with a dark, hard mud. And then you sort of said, well, I don't want to keep going down that way. And then you guys went to the other one. Went that way.
Yeah, because we didn't want to go in the catacombs or whatever.
Well, my vote is we go the same way we came last time.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But just because the kobolds might have fled, I don't know if something else might have taken its place, so let's not just go charging in either.
Oh, why isn't
Well, it seemed to work pretty well the first time. I can send Hoot Hoot down the hallway down to this area again to check for things.
I'm still kind of interested in what's over here.
I believe you looked last time you glanced down there.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of grays, and at the time I didn't really care about them. But now I'm wondering, what if one of them is important, or, is perhaps this was it Lady Sierra's grave or one of her consorts.
So we didn't go down this hallway except for with Hoot Hoot. And we didn't go, Hoot Hoot didn't even go down this one.
No.
And we just went to the right, looked up all that stuff,
And we
found blood, and left.
We found our way up this one and have seen everything up here.
Right.
Up in this area.
And Hoot Hoot went all the way down to that big room and saw
here
kobolds.
He saw a kobold walking out of line of sight somewhere here.
Right.
But that's about all he saw. So we know that there was something here. But didn't he just say that it looked like there was a bunch of kobold tracks outside, that maybe they had vacated the area, or did I mishear that? Or it looked like they may have.
That's what he said.
So I say we go in assuming it's chock full of kobolds or worse.
I think that's a good assumption. So I'd like to send Hoot Hoot to this first intersection here, and see if he sees anything.
You see 2 rotting orcs, and a rotting kobold, and 2 rotting weasels.
I found food, guys. Kind of with Raz, I'd like to know what's happening over at those sarcophagi things.
Well, you're in control.
Just for safety's sake.
So I'm rear guard back here.
You and me.
All right.
Owl leads and the bard sings behind it.
It's like a parade. Okay.
Where's Siona? Okay, and then
Does Hoot Hoot see anything here?
Hold on one sec.
So can we say we're all in this safely in this room?
So roll me 3 d20s.
Who?
Who?
Anybody.
Hoot Hoot.
Hoot Hoot.
Oh wait. So Hoot Hoot can see. Okay, so you're you just see sort of from where you are, you just see sort of into the wall, dugout kind of vaults with decaying bones, kind of, and you can kind of make out that there may be some kind of things chiseled into sort of the rock above it, but you don't see anything particularly from where you are.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do I still need to roll the 3d20?
Whoever's searching those tombs. For each one you search, give me a 3d20 roll.
I'm confused. Like, I'm not doing a check.
Nope, just roll me 3d20.
There's three ones, so
So you see the first one, you see a name on it that says Anna Fleetdew. Always in our hearts is the epitaph that's there. And you kind of rummaging through the bones, find a glass orb that when you touch it just kind of makes a sound, like a whirring sound.
Quinn, you want to look at this?
How long does a ritual take?
about an hour or so.
Well,
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long the ritual normally takes.
10 minutes longer than normal.
Okay, well then, 11 minutes.
If the spell is ritual, it can be cast as a ritual.
Yeah,
I have a ritual spell of identity. Identify.
Yeah, I have one of those too. So yeah, I mean, I think I can do it. DM, do you approve?
You can. Do you want to keep searching the rest of these to see if there's anything else that comes up?
Yeah, toss me the whirring orb, and I'll try to sit over here in the corner and identify it.
If you roll any of the same numbers again, just roll me a new one.
So are we supposed to be doing this roll 320s for all 5 of these little alcoves?
Yes.
So 15 d20s?
Well,
So,
just do 3 at a time. It makes it easier on me.
so
I know,
I'll
I'm just saying.
I'll do one of them as well then.
I can roll. No, hold on. I'll just roll my own one. I'll save you guys the trouble.
There's mine.
You find the second tomb says Evan Ironsong on it. The epitaph says, "We have loved you in life. Let us not forget you in death." And you find, kind of searching through it, 2 of the fingernails. 2 of his fingernails are painted with a mysterious symbol. The third one you search is the name says Geth Stormborn. It says, "What we keep in our memory is ours, unchanged forever." And searching through kind of him searching the body, you find a wax hand shaped to hold a large cup.
I think the drinking killed him.
Shut up! I'm trying to concentrate over here.
I walk up like, what are you casting Identify on? The orb? Okay.
so Eldon got some fingernails and I got a hand.
Well, the fingernails were painted with a weird symbol, but I suppose you could rip them off, or the fingers, or just.
Oh, okay. I thought they were
That
like
was kind of
decomposed and
interesting.
laying there.
No, they would have just been. I mean, I guess they kind of are. It's not going to take much to remove them.
Do I recognize the symbols from anything I might have read recently, or
You don't off the top of your head, but it's possible they could mean something if you wanted to copy them down.
Okay, I'll take a picture with my cell phone. Oh wait, sorry.
Parchment.
I'll draw something on the parchment.
All right, someone give me 2 more rolls or 2 more searches.
Okay, who's left over here? I guess it's just Siona and myself still looking, while the others are over kind of looking at this orb that they pulled out. Did Siona, did you want to grab that wax hand, or is that not interesting?
I mean, I'll pick it up.
Ew.
So we found 3 weird things.
Okay. Well, we're looking at each.
The 4th one is, you see the name Rarstag Nightbank, and the epitaph says, "Rest is thine, and sweet remembrance ours." And searching you find a dented sheriff's badge. And the last one you find, it says Gothar Lacklaw, and the epitaph says, "This was no ordinary life. This was a life well lived, well loved, and a life that will be deeply missed." And searching that, you find a portfolio or kind of a book of pressed flowers inside the.
So, like a book with pressed flowers in it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, or like I guess it's a book. It's just sort of I guess it can be a book. Just got a handful of pressed flowers that somebody had left here.
Hmm.
Would anybody object if I wore the sheriff's badge on my robes?
Have at it.
I mean, unless Raz wants it.
Not me.
I'm good. I don't think people would believe me if I disguised myself as that.
I didn't think it was a disguise. I just thought it was shiny.
Have fun.
Anybody want this weird hand?
Not me.
I'm just going to put it back down and take the flowers.
So did the did this identify spell do anything, or was it just kind of practice on casting identify?
You, after doing it, are able to. I mean, I don't know exactly what identify does. I mean,
Identifies the properties of a magical item.
you can tell that it's been magically. It's a glass orb that's been magically enhanced to just sort of make a calm, sort of soothing white noise sound that obviously was placed in this tomb by somebody, probably because that person was probably scared of the dark, or they didn't want them to be. So at some point a family member put that in there. Just kind of goes where.
Oh, good. We found the machine that goes whir.
I literally said it's a glass ball that goes whir.
But now we know it for fact.
Just took us 11 minutes of our time.
Wondering if it's a crystal ball or has any other, Good thing to check. I don't think anything else looks interesting except those fingernails, and I'm thinking in terms of wondering if I could paint my holy emblem on my fingers now, and I wouldn't have to carry it.
Well,
All right. So those are there. So keep on keeping on.
Okay, so
all right.
hmm.
Do we want to keep on going to the southwest here?
Yeah, it would be nice to know where this goes.
Okay. Does the bird see any enemies, or still just the loosely corded gate to the northwest here?
Yeah. That gate's cord is moving, or is removed, but the door is still closed, and you don't see anything else from where you are.
Well, Hoot Hoot seems to think the paths are clear. So, which way do y'all want to go?
Just a quick question: who's carrying a torch and who has?
I'm the only blind one here.
Okay. So are you carrying a torch?
No, I'm keeping in the darkness and just hugging the wall. I'll cast dancing lights if I need to.
Okay.
Guess I'll follow the owl here.
Okay. Well, this is where the paralysis comes in. Which way do I want to go? Send him to the northwest here and see if he can peer through the gate here.
You can make out that there's a room on the other side of the door, but it's mostly the door is closed.
I'll do the same thing. I'll take a look at the door and see if I can see anything through the door.
You can see where on the wall side, there is a piece that holds the door closed when bound to the door. Obviously, at some point, this door would have had better seals on it, but it looks like it's been kind of battered around and probably from the inside. So it's broken several times. So the locking mechanism on this is completely broken. It has to be basically bound closed to stay that way.
I slowly open the door.
Are we all caught up where we're in our locations?
Quinn was still kind of hanging out in the altar room there, slowly making his way down.
You open the gate and can see at the other end of the room is another gate that is similar but is open. The floor here is covered with straw and feces and some fresh bones. You get the roll me a perception check. You get the feeling that this was a weasel pen for some of those giant weasels, probably that they were trying to domesticate or tame to kind of serve the kobolds' needs. So they turned whatever this room originally was sort of into a weasel pen.
I'll head back and relay that to everybody. I guess we could keep going that way, see what we see.
I see nothing.
I see what you did there.
I don't.
Do you see why kids love the taste of... No.
Hoot Hoot's going to fly through the weasel pen. Did we say that the gate on the other side was open or closed, or did he just run smack into it?
It's open.
All right, he's going to fly through it. He's relaying to Quinn that he sees another intersection coming up and flies right up to it.
Can we just say this is our current party order instead of constantly moving ourselves?
Yeah, let's
I'm good with that.
put the party order maybe up here.
What's the front of that party?
Let's go left to right.
So I would be fourth in line right there.
I was leading up the rear.
Okay. Just saves us having to constantly all move.
Right. No, that makes sense.
All right.
Because we don't, I mean, seriously though, like, we probably all fit in one square down there, so.
I assume since I'm fourth in line, I'm just holding my hand on the top of your head.
Okay, and then we'll just, we'll follow 30, 40 feet behind Hoot Hoot.
That sounds good.
20 feet behind Hoot Hoot.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Well, however far back, so if he sees on a hallway, we can't be seen.
Right.
Longer hallways will stay further back.
So what senses does Hoot Hoot relay?
Hang on. Within
Is it
100,
just sight and sound?
Well, I think so. That's how we've been doing it. It says it's within 100 feet of me. I can communicate with it telepathically. As an action, I can see and hear what it does, but not with my own senses. Let's see here. You know what? It doesn't really say. It just says that I can communicate with it telepathically.
Then I guess he's telling you what he sees. You're not seeing what he sees.
Yeah, he's just telling me. Unless I actively warg into it, I think.
So you get the feeling from looking north that that's the continuation of sort of where you came in, that other hallway, or at least you can kind of, it looks very similar to that other set of stairs. To the south is sort of another quiet hallway that you can't really see. You think you might be able to make out a crypt or something to the south, but not. And then below you The room below you looks oddly clean for what you've seen up to this point in the tomb.
Okay. I kind of want to see what's in there. Go ahead.
I like clean.
You like clean? Now let's see what's in this clean room.
Let's do it.
Hoot Hoot flies into the room.
The walls and floor are made of dressed stone, and like I said, are oddly clean. There's none of the dust and debris that you found in the tunnels. Several vault doors line the walls, and there's a large tapestry hanging on the east wall, showing a fierce armored woman battling goblins. Your attention is drawn to an enormous sarcophagus that dominates the center of the room. It's carved from pale marble and has gold and silver ornating it. The chamber is eerily silent.
So Quinn relays this to everybody who, I guess, is still in the hallway. Sounds like it's something we should check out.
You know, I heard an old ghost story a long time ago by the fires. Some Red Flame soldier on assignment said they cracked open a tomb after battle, and a ghost came out. So I think we should check that tomb before we inspect it any closer. Check it for traps.
Sounds good. Who wants to go do that?
All right, where in the room is this sarcophagus at?
Is it one of these?
It'd be the middle one, I guess.
This one? So what's this here? Just smaller sarcophagus, or?
I thought they were just columns, like that's
Yeah.
cut out stone or whatever.
Yeah, we'll say those are columns.
Yeah, okay. So then would it be here? Or you're going to put it in for us?
Oh, it says it's in the center of the room, so that's as good as any.
Right where the column is?
I don't know. It does. The map's not. The map's what it is.
That works.
Spoiler alert! I didn't draw it.
It's a magic tomb. It's there. It's there's a column just on top of it.
So are we feeling we're going to all enter the room and kind of look here, or?
Well, I'm guessing if this thing has got a column on top, okay, like we can't open it up, but it seems to be magically moving.
Okay.
That makes me suspicious of it.
Do we have a smart investigation-y type person? Cough, the wizard, cough.
What are we doing with trap checking or investigating?
Yeah, I mean the wizard does have a strong investigation because of the intelligence mod. Shit, I guess he can do it.
So as a group, we're coming into the room. All.
You want to move down now?
I guess I will probably cast some light so I can see.
All right. So is this an investigation check?
Traps, I think I've read as a perception check.
Who just put the blue squares up there?
Those are my dancing lights.
Oh, okay.
Ash, which one is it? Perception or investigation?
Imagine either one.
I'm on the Roll20 compendium. It says the perception to detect it, investigation to disable it, or to figure out how to disable it, and then a dexterity check using thieves' tools to actually disable it.
Okay. Perception it is.
Who's best at that? Who's going to be best at looking at this?
Is that you,
Me,
Eldon?
because I'm the rogue.
I've got a +4. I'm good with you though. I'd rather not be near it.
I mean, I guess I'm a rogue. I guess I would know more about traps. I guess I can look.
I'll give you a gold to do it.
All right, you might want to back away.
So we've already walked past these first two.
Yeah, I mean, can we look around the rest of the room real fast before I start fiddling with this?
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, did anything start moving when he cast his lights in here?
No. I mean, you can make forth it's still just basically that really ornate coffin in the middle. I'm trying to find the description.
So I think we said we're all checking out these before we look at that big shiny thing in the middle. We're going to check these little alcoves.
Let me check this.
They're closed, but you could probably
No opening.
Force their open if you needed to.
No opening anything yet.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make
you can. I mean, you see, they're on sort of they're doors, right? So they're not like sealed. But you could probably, I don't know, do an athletics check or a strength check to try and kind of force them open if you wanted to.
Well, if they don't move easily, let's not make it easy for whatever's in there to get out if anything's in there.
Right. I agree. I think we should just look around before we open anything, investigate, and so we understand the room before opening. I thought these don't look like they have doors on them, so that's why I was just thinking they were open alcoves.
All right. So have we searched the room? Everything's closed, and we can pretty much see everything. Other than that blue, whatever is in the back.
I was trying to draw a line. That's where that tapestry is.
You killed Siona.
Ugh.
Yeah, I won't. I don't try and draw anything, otherwise I'll kill the map.
Can you guys kind of see that?
See what? I see I do now. Yeah.
Yeah. You said that's that picture of the lady?
Yeah, that's the large tapestry of a armored woman. Eldon, give me a perception check on the tapestry.
Me?
Actually, I don't even need that. You, Eldon, recognize from your quick reading, especially of the history, that this picture is of Lady Fear Ironside,
Oh,
the last
Black.
the last great lord of Firestone Keep.
Okay, this is the one Blackmore told us about and pointed me towards information about when I asked for. I see. So this is her tomb then?
You get that impression from the layout.
Okay, I would relay that information. That this is probably the room we've been looking for. Did it mention if this would be any traps in this room or anything of note before touching or disturbing anything?
You didn't read anything on that. From what you recall reading, was that she was a fierce warrior who kind of drove back a lot of this in this area, this continent, this little peninsula you're on, kind of drove back and kind of established really the last, the first real stronghold here, and kind of held it off from everyone. And that she sort of not demanded, she basically commanded the respect of basically everyone that served underneath her. She had like a fiercely loyal following of people.
Seems odd this would still be around in a place ruled by Bane. I guess he must not get out this way much.
I mean, it is infested with kobolds, so I don't think they'd come down here.
I guess this place has been lost to civilization for a while. Otherwise, why would she be resting here?
Well, are we ready for me to start looking for things? Or do
Yeah.
we have reservations?
Well, as of that this is kind of what Lord Blackmore sent us to look for, I would imagine there's something in here that he thought we may learn something we needed to know. So I would start looking around and I mean, we're pretty certain there's no one in here with us.
I want to use Divine Sense before we do anything else.
Good idea.
Can you link that?
I could, but I don't have it.
So unless it's not really in the draggable.
It's not one of the.
What can you just read what it says?
So I got it. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. I know the type of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. It's within the same radius. You also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
So it's based on this, then you hear a ringing in your ear, sort of. I guess if it says evil is noxious odor, you hear sort of ringing. There's definitely some ringing kind of coming from the sarcophagus that you kind of discern is probably something consecrated, which could very well be the body of Lady Ironsong, or it could be something else. You can't really discern from that. As sort of you get sort of a general ringing, kind of coming from behind the doors of these tombs too, these vaults, which you can't quite discern between whether that's a consecrated body or something else. And you're definitely getting sort of the similar, more of less consecrated. You're getting the same kind of feeling from the tapestry, but you get the impression that it might not be consecrated as much as it might hold something else.
I share this information.
But it's all ringing, so
yeah, so everything's powerful good. Is what you're saying.
Lots of lawful good.
All right. Is there anything behind the tapestry?
You lift it and look behind it, and it's just the wall. The backside of it's there. So, if anything, the tapestry itself is probably enchanted or holding something of that, or perhaps it's just a manifestation of something else.
All right. Well, I'm going to check some traps, seeing how this thing is, emanating such a good aura. Maybe Quinn and Rash should back away, lest they, burns them. All right. I'm going to check for traps or anything else that might, impede us.
You don't detect any traps. It's sealed, and you don't see that it's ever been really tampered with or opened, but you don't see any clear visible lock or anything on it.
Well, guys, I don't see anything on here. I mean, that doesn't mean it's safe.
All right, hold on one second. Give me just a second. Continue to talk amongst yourselves.
All right, guys, why were we here again? What, we're looking for an item from the flames.
Lord Blackmore felt we would find something here that would link to why to the red flames, which we have connection with from the
that would help us understand what happened in our own country.
Now, I know I was kind of a bad student, so I don't remember much of them. I don't remember them being a super good. My crypt rings with heavenly choirs after I died.
They may have started out that way.
Is this not the thing we're looking for? Are we asking for trouble opening this up?
don't think so.
I'm curious, if we're looking for something because apparently they stole something from Bane. Are we looking for an evil item? Are we looking for a book of someone's journal?
Just hope we know what it is when
This
we see it.
lady, this warrior, we're trying to find out who she is and how she links to us.
All right, well, I'm rather weak, so I'm just going to take a couple steps back and not be the one to even pretend to open that up. We'll let the pious one do it.
Even though
Do
I
you want to
don't.
assist me, Eldon?
I'll just
help, even
pull
though
my daggers out just as a precaution.
What'd you say?
Which one?
Eldon.
Oh, I am a weakling, but I will pretend to help at least.
Something I'll ask the DM maybe shortly later when he's free, but I'm assuming, if my father was the administrator of the Red Flames and I followed all these and praised these great commanders of the Red Flames, surely this name would be familiar to me somehow.
It does seem that way.
The family name is like you recognize like the Iron Song name, not for anything particular, but just from sort of a name of one of the not the first families, but one of the names that you'd recognize, at least the Iron Song name. You don't recognize this particular name or really anything about this particular person, but you can kind of discern from sort of the time frame that likely everything that happened here happened after the departure towards Ecleros. So this would have been a sympathizing family or a resistance friendly family. That this is sort of the offshoot of that line.
When we were looking at maps, was this a land we recognized now that we've gotten more information about it?
Of the keep, you know where it is sort of in the general lay of the land.
No, I'm thinking in terms of like from Ecleros to this.
Like a continental map?
Yeah.
What you mean? Like a greater scale?
Yeah, on the greater scale of the world, we now know what land we're in, may recognize.
You have a bit of an overland map that you gathered from the study, or were able to copy down. I just I don't have that quite yet to give to you, but you at least know sort of given. You'll be able, once you see that map, you'll be able to see, oh, well, this is where the keep was, and this is where the other town was, and this is where Oldenburg is.
Right. That's the map of this land. I'm just thinking in terms of relation to Ecleros.
No, that map would not have Ecleros on it. I don't even think you really, having even made the journey, have any clear idea of where Ecleros lies in respect to this.
Okay, so there's okay. I think I understand.
So are we ready to open it up?
Sure, I am.
I'm just gonna stay back here by the tapestry and see what
Okay, I'm gonna hold
happens.
on to my holy symbol for a minute because kind of feel like we're desecrating, but I'm doing it with the most respect that I can.
I'm maybe saying a prayer to my God of knowledge and um, asking, forgiveness for opening this, but in the um, search of knowledge and stuff. Uh,
Good intentions.
Good intentions, yes.
Okay.
Whisper isn't working so well tonight for people.
Nope.
Oh, do I need to assist?
I think that was the assist.
Assist?
Because I think, doesn't that just give me advantage if somebody assists on a roll?
Oh, right. I think that's right. Yeah.
So the sarcophagus slowly creeps open, and inside you can see the corpse of Fiora Ironsong, wearing her ancient armor and holding a weapon, her brow encircled with a gold circlet. From behind, from the tapestry, um, it starts to sort of move, and a kind of piercing shriek. From it just kind of echoes off all the walls, and is almost deafening, fills the room, and from the tapestry sort of emerges a spectral form of Lady Ironsong.
Good thing.
That sucks.
Is that a run of fear?
Yeah, that just scared the piss out of me, so I'm going back towards the left, the right.
I would say Quinn's probably shaking right now, or whatever that is, because that scared the shit out of him.
The doors, you kind of can hear from behind here. Hold on one second. So you get the impression from this ghost, or this apparition, I guess, that that even desecrating with the best of intentions has not gone over well with her.
Hmm.
Is there a way to communicate with her?
I suppose we could just speak at it and hope it understands us. We're here to learn of the red flames.
We're here to join you in your fight against Bane. It rhymed.
Because we're Batman.
You merely adopted the red flames.
The doors of the vaults sort of swing open. Oh, wait on.
Shouldn't I have detected undead back there? If there's freaking undead back there?
Yeah.
You did. You had.
You just told me about good stuff.
I said there's ringing.
Ringing is good. It says powerful good rings.
Yeah, these are all lawful good.
Oh my God. But I should still know that there were undead. It says that I would know there's undead there.
Could you tell the difference between consecration and undead in terms of ringing? There's different levels of ringing?
It says you know the type of any being whose presence you sense.
Unless there's fully
Full cover.
concealed,
Crap!
right?
God!
So behind a door?
Oh, God,
Stupidest power ever.
they're all.
Like, dude, there's an undead right there. I know, we can all see it.
I found one.
Lady Arsong, your name is legend throughout the tales of the Red Flames. It's been spoken for years, or decades, or centuries, or however long your family name is, whatever I know. Please let us join together. What can you tell us? Can we help you?
Oh boy.
She's sort of floating in the midair. You guys are kind of not. You haven't done anything yet that's really set this off, so you're kind of not at a stalemate, but she's sort of taking it in.
So I've
Are
been
you
carrying.
done drawing them on the screen? Is this all there? Is it all? Is it just the 6 of them?
Oh wait, there was another one, wasn't there?
Oh, okay.
Good catch. These skeletons are all sort of wearing the same armor as the corpse in there, with her family crest ablaze their shields. You get sort of the impression that this is her honor guard, sworn to basically protect her on this realm and beyond.
So I've been carrying this administrative outfit of the Red Flame for some time now. If I ever needed to pretend I was one, and I fold it very neatly and place it before her, before the tapestry, to show our commitment to the Red Flame. We are one, you and I.
She looks at the tapestry, or the disguise, and sort of sees the symbol emblazoned on sort of the cuff, and then kind of floats towards her sarcophagus, and sort of melts kind of into the corpse, and the skeletons kind of go back and lay down on their I don't know what you call it, their tombs, their vaults, kind of lay back on their beds.
Or stone slab.
The doors kind of close, and the cold that it's sort of permeated this room kind of lessens, and you get the feeling that, to some degree, your presence here has been somewhat allowed.
Okay, I'll peer into the tomb to see what's there after she melted in there.
You kind of search around the body, not necessarily disturbing it. And find sort of a metal, it's sort of underneath the, I don't know what you're going to say, it's tucked under the fabric of one corner is sort of this metal insignia of the Red Flames. I mean, it's the symbol you all have, but it's missing. It's not missing. It's got several holes in it. Not not holes intentionally put holes. It's just it looks sort of different from how you would see it. So the symbol you normally have, it's got maybe 6 or so holes, distinctly put into some sort of a pattern on the symbol.
So it looks like incomplete, or just
maybe this was an older version, or symbol of her office.
You're not sure. I mean, it's definitely the same symbol. So it's the symbol of this resistance or whatever. You don't quite know what the modifications to it mean. You just know that, it's probably the size of I don't know, your hand or so. I guess that's maybe the size of this. You can hold it sort of with your fingers outstretched, as the kind of the size of this emblem. But you don't know the reason why it's missing or why these holes were intentionally put into it. They're not like drilled out. It looks like it was created specifically to serve some purpose that you don't quite have or know of.
should I draw a copy of it, folks, or do we want to risk taking it?
Is this not what we came for?
Oh, I'll risk it. I'll reach in and sort of lift it to look at it better. Is anything happening?
Nope, you're able to put it into your pack. Nothing seems to happen. Looking at the body, just for informational purposes, you can tell that she's wearing a fine suit of mithril scale mail armor, and is holding Eldon what you recognize to be the Firestone sword that sort of the keep is named after. The hilt of this sword, this large battle sword, basically, is Iron Song. The name of the blade is, and it's the base of it on the hilt has a very large, brilliant orange gemstone mounted to it. That you have, from reading about her, recall that she was the wielder of it. It's sort of the great sword that slayed the beasts and drove them from the land.
Hmm.
I must have missed it. Did somebody pick up the emblem
I have
insignia?
picked up. I am holding the emblem, and
I think we're just deciding what we should do with the rest of her.
looking at her armor and sword. It's the symbol. I'm reading it as the symbol of the the, the fight that they had. What was it? Vanquishing the
So
prior order of
you sort of know that as part of this island, where the kobolds were and stuff was once, mostly overrun, or this peninsula was mostly overrun by orcs, and that the Firestone Keep and this family sort of drove the orcs from this land, kind of, and that all the stories tell of sort of the great battle and the sword to which she sort of wielded. But you get you were able to search it and get that symbol without any issues. So if you want to, whatever you want to do now, just it's up to you guys. There's more to explore too, or having what you came for, you can always take off to.
Well, last time we left here early, we had to come back. We're
I'd
not
like to-
holding. We don't have a 10-year-old kid with us this time. I'm curious as what is in the rest of this place.
I'd kind of like to explore, though Quinn's so amazingly enough, is a bit uneasy with the open tomb and the big scary thing coming out of the tapestry. He's kind of wary of still being in this room.
I'm looking at that sword and wondering
I know.
if if we have the kind of cause that
That she would be on the side of.
grant us the use, especially the armor too. I mean, I wouldn't be able to wear it or use it, but do we have a cause at this time?
Do we have a cause?
I mean, we have to figure out what happened over there. I'm still pretty determined to go back.
Honestly, I came along with you guys because we were out scouting the island, and suddenly we were saving a kid. Now we're dealing with lawful good undead skeletons. Might be bad on my depth here.
But she did seem to be assuaged by the
Order of the Flame.
Yeah.
Or wait, the Sacred Flame, sorry.
But just going on record, Quinn's kind of...
I want to reach in and grasp the sword. I don't want to lift it. I just want to grasp it. I just want to...
I'm going to move to the edge of the room here.
Just want to see how it feels
out.
in my hand.
That's literally what she said.
Not the whole sword, just the
just
the hilt. Just the hilt. That's all you need.
Hope your kids are in bed.
I mean, now that I know that it's the Church of Bane who caused all those deaths and has put my mother's life potentially in danger, um,
Maybe we could pray to her and ask her if she would grant us the usage to help fight our. But
I'm going to let go of the sword and back away.
I don't know. Maybe she could recognize you as her successor in this mission.
Well, the sword was used to fight orcs. It wasn't necessarily to fight the Order of Bane.
True, but who do you think might be good foot soldiers for this order? Could be the orcs.
Does anybody have? Wait a minute. I have something.
If we're done, I'm going to close the crypt.
Hold on. No, okay. Never mind. Yeah, I'm following Siona's lead. What she decides to do with it.
Oh, the ringing of the undead.
Were they good undead?
What was the sword's name again? Just for
Iron Song. And the Firestone is what's on the hilt of it. Sort of what Firestone Keep was named after.
Do y'all want me to? I mean, I've got a detect magic ritual that I could cast. So you think it would help us decide what to do with the sword?
Oh, I'm sure it's magic.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
I mean, the whole thing is, do we want to kill stuff and lose her goodwill? Or do we want to continue on and explore?
I don't know if she'd
Or
be
do we wanna
opposed to
leave?
killing some kobolds and orcs. She might be a fan of that.
It seems like if we take the sword, we'll be killing her friends because she don't like that.
Well, we don't know if she'll allow us to take the sword or not. We might have to fight them. We might not.
Look, I'm all for a little bit of looting and whatnot, but when it turns out to be like this, I'm gonna hedge my bets to no. It's one thing to rob a grave. It's one thing to rob a grave. It's another thing to rob the grave while said person is watching you rob her grave.
That's a good point.
With her 7 armed, skeleton guards.
But wouldn't she want us to end the Church of Bane?
I feel like I'm at the blackjack table. I don't know if I want to quit while I'm ahead or.
It does. It kind of seems more like press your luck to me. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Yeah. The first 2 chambers clicked, and you haven't seen a bullet. So how many more you got?
I mean, how many ones can you possibly roll?
I mean, you got a 1 in 4
All of
chance,
them?
Chris. You just can keep pulling the trigger.
I think Siona probably knows more than we could ever know. She seems attached to this journey, this commitment. I'm following her on this.
Don't put that on me.
No, it's sound reasoning.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I don't like a fight. I say this is good. We're ahead.
I mean, I'm by the door for a reason, but it would be hard pressed, to pass up a powerful looking sword
and armor. I mean, it's
It's mithril.
It is mithril, and I'm at the door for a reason.
Seems too good to be true than it is. Is that what?
That's my vote.
But I could shoot it with a fireball. Leave you suckers in there.
Can we jam all 7 of those doors shut?
That's what I was thinking.
But then that would show that we are we have intent to
Right,
steal from
bad
us.
intention.
I don't think that would be bad intention.
I'm pretty sure her listening to us decide this is not doing.
This is all going on in our brains. We didn't say it out loud.
Well,
So there's nothing in the back of the room besides more doors and this tunnel down here.
Well, I don't think we've even seen. Have we?
We haven't looked past the crypt.
Even gotten far enough to even see what's down the rest of the way? Except that I noticed that this door did not have a ghoulie coming into it, or whatever it is.
Did you just say ghoulie?
Yeah.
I assume we checked the whole room before we did this because we talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
And if there's anything else in this place, we can't dilly-dally in here for days. That scream had to have woken something up if it's in here.
It woke my bowels up.
And the smell from that's going to drive in more things in.
Okay.
You can see you've seen sort of to like there, and then you can kind of see sort of the same thing, that it's a hallway leading down, but you can't kind of see past like here. So
how about this? How about I just take Captain Hoot Hoot here and swing him down this hallway a little bit.
I'm closing the crypt.
The temptation has passed, and you've said no to the ring.
Come on, Frodo.
You mean the sword? Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
What's the elf queen or whatever it is?
Galadriel?
Yeah.
Go nerds.
Unite. Woo!
Okay, so I have the symbol. And we're going to determine what's down that path. Did we lose that?
Down. Okay, so yeah, from where you are there, you can kind of see. Trying to see exactly where.
Okay, so we're back in marching order.
I'm just showing you what Hoot Hoot was seeing.
Yeah, no, but we're going to be marching order behind, the 20 feet behind Hoot Hoot type thing.
So you see some more ossuaries or tombed crypts sort of dotting the walls to your west. And that's sort of all you can see. To your south, you see a let's see if I'm gonna move you just a little bit for giggles. Say you went to here, so then I can say you can see things. The rough walls of the passage to your south are interrupted by panels of smooth cut stone that form a short tunnel roughly 10 feet long. Fresh blood is splattered around the top, bottom, and lower sides of the strange construction. If anybody is getting to the point where we want to pick it up next week, let me know. I noticed the time.
Well, that sounds like a good time to cut it then, because if it's if there's a battle.
I don't know if there is, but I'm just saying, if any, given the time, if there's a possibility of an encounter or something.
I say we take a break now, because if it does get to an encounter and takes 45 minutes.
That's fine with me. So next session, we will play through this and where this goes. And I think the session after that, Adam and I are going to swap places for a little bit and see how that goes.
Does everybody have next Monday off?
Nope.
I do not.
What is that?
It's President's Day.
No.
We don't have a 3-day weekend. I don't have a 3-day weekend until May.
Okay, never mind then.
Good try though.
Yeah, we don't live where all the presidents did stuff.
We didn't get Martin Luther King Day off.
Yeah, I didn't get MLK off, so.
Oddly, I did.
Yeah, companies pick and choose a couple of them, but I was just hoping if we could do like 2 nights in a row or something. Oh well.
When you and Adam are switching, are you just doing like a one-shot thing, or you just kind of throw in your own little narrative spin on this campaign?
He's going to. He has what he'd originally worked it up sort of as a one shot, but we're going to kind of blend it into canon, so it'll be official canon, and then when that's done, he'll either continue on for a bit, or we'll switch back, or eventually someone else can take a turn at it if we want.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody else
he just expressed interest in it, so he expressed interest in it, and I was saying that it would be fun to play for a bit, so we were going to swap for at least a couple sessions. How many sessions it'll take?
What's it going to be like having a DM who has like a monitor he can see the actual game on? No, I mean like a big enough monitor to see it on.
I'm running my thing on my iPhone. It's all right.
I've got a monitor I can sell you, cheap.
No, mine's fine. I've got a monitor downstairs. I just
you just don't set up
have to get around to it. Yeah, I'm up upstairs, so it's just kind of but it's not so bad.
I don't know, every other session's been like, man, I hate tapping back and forth between these things.
It gets tough when it's heavy combat stuff, but it's not so bad. But yeah, so that'll probably be after next session, probably when you guys get to Aldenburg. He'll take over from there. So if the next session, if you get to that point, we can either him and I can either kind of work out where the initial steps of that go, and I can kind of run it, or if we get to a point where we get there early in the night, it may be a slightly shorter session, but it's kind of tough to tell. But yeah, so if anyone has any objections to that, feel free to reach out and let us know. So
I'm good.
All right.
Well, then I will see you guys all next Sunday, same time as usual, and we'll go from there. This was a lot of fun. This session was interesting for many different reasons. We haven't done a very heavy non-encounter session like this before, so it was a lot of fun to kind of see what you guys came up with.
Well, I've noticed that's one thing and if you watch Critical Role, that happens is the players go off on a tangent by themselves for 45 minutes, and Mercer can just sit back and be like, my work here is done.
Yeah, it's funny to see sort of how everything works out. So
Then they buy drugs.
Yeah.
So about how long, like time-wise, that took the characters in game to go through all those areas?
I imagine you've been in the tunnels for less than an hour.
Yeah, we haven't gone very far. I mean,
you basically went down a hall, searched a bunch of things.
This 11-minute ritual.
You took 15 minutes to kind of chill out. You went did some more searching, and then you kind of walked into this room. Now, granted, this room probably took you guys a bit because you
had a great moral internal debate.
Said a prayer. Yeah, you said a prayer and did some stuff, and everybody kind of, had some good internal dialogue. But yeah, you're probably about an hour, I'd guess.
Okay.
All right. Well,